There's my audience. I would like to show you all some breathtaking images. The first is the Crab Nebula. Next are the rings of Saturn, and the view is between the rings and the planet itself. And then this is the Dust Mountains in the Carina Nebula. All of these images were taken by telescopes that were created by NASA. And while these stunning images could not have been seen by human eyes without this technology, this is not the only reason that the American government funds this organization. Many believe that the government funding of NASA should be defunded. But I think that those people are not aware of how necessary this program is to mankind. Continuing funding to NASA will drive economic growth, create and improve innovative technologies across the globe, and help maintain America's global presence. According to NASA's 2022 Economic Impact Study, in the fiscal year 2021, NASA was responsible for more than 339,000 jobs across the country and paid out $25.7 billion in labor income and benefits. The average full-time employee at NASA makes an annual income of $75,000, which is 18% higher than the US average. The study goes on to state that NASA was responsible for a $71.2 billion economic output. This just shows that this organization is about more than just searching the stars. People across the country depend on NASA for their very livelihoods, and young adults everywhere are inspired to pursue careers in the sciences to increase their earning potential. Casey King of the Planetary Society stated that NASA's Moon to Mars mission alone supports over 93,000 jobs and has an economic output of $20.1 billion annually, and they're just getting started. You may be surprised to know that each of you carries a little bit of NASA technology in your pockets every day. When Jet Propulsion Laboratory created cameras small enough to fit on a spacecraft and still have scientific quality, they unknowingly created the technology that led to the impressive smartphone cameras we see on all the latest devices. Now think about the water that you drink. More than likely it's purified water. Well, in the 1960s, NASA created an electrolytic silver ionizer that purified water for astronauts during space travel, thus leading to water purification systems that are being used all over the world to give people clean water. Even baby formula has a nutritional enhancement in it that NASA-sponsored research discovered while studying the use of algae for long-duration space travel. From artificial limbs to ear thermometers, NASA has had a hand in countless inventions all over the world that we would not be able to function without nowadays. The possibilities are endless to what they will produce with ongoing funding. NASA has also been at the forefront of advancements in technologies that are aiming to save our planet. Take, for example, solar power. In the 1970 energy crisis, the American government looked at solar power as uneconomic due to the research costs. But NASA relied on it for an energy source while in space, so they continued to fund the research in this field when America stopped. This technology is now not only saving people money and energy costs, but it's reducing the need to make electricity that produces carbon dioxide, reducing our impact on global warming. According to Jessica Toothman at HowStuffWorks.co, the invention of NASA's radiant barrier, a lightweight reflective insulation that we use in spacecrafts, helped to raise awareness about improved insulation methods. This led to spin-off products that we see everywhere now. Energy Star now requires these new superior installations for all new building construction certifications. These innovations and many more are significant steps in the mission to save this planet from the pollution humans create. And the government's funding can allow NASA to continue working to make sure we're leaving a healthy planet for future generations. Lastly, America has been one of the largest powers in the world, and a lot of that is due to NASA's involvement in the space race and other initiatives that have united countries around the globe aimed at common goals. One such product is the Artemis program, a complex mission series aimed at long-term lunar exploration and eventually travel to Mars. According to the NASA website, the Artemis missions have 3 general goals in mind: reigniting America's passion for discovery, enabling lunar economy by fueling new industries, supporting job growth, and furthering the demand for a skilled workforce, and inspiring and engaging a new generation of potential explorers, a group NASA affectionately refers to as the Artemis generation. They plan to achieve these goals with impressive new technology that never would have been achievable without proper funding. First, they plan to create a new, improved spacecraft called Orion to transport astronauts from Earth to lunar orbit. They will also be creating a lunar space station called the Gateway, where the new Orion spacecraft will attach and transfer astronauts to lunar landers. It will create a working and living space around the moon that will support long-term scientific and human exploration. Finally, the Artemis program aims to create the first ever lunar base camp, allowing explorers to stay for longer periods of time on the moon. All of these plans, if successful, have the potential to not only allow us to explore parts of the moon that were never possible before, but may even lead us to visiting our little red neighbor Mars. And I believe that is an investment worth making. I think it's safe to say that our country would not be as advanced as it is now if not for NASA's contributions. They've provided superior economic support. They've helped invent things that we rely on every day, as well as creating technologies that reduce our impact on the planet, and have plans that can lead us into an exciting new future with limitless possibilities. I know that funding a science program doesn't always sit at the top of everybody's priority list, but I urge you to think about all the things we have to thank NASA for besides space exploration. Continued funding will allow more innovation, more economic advancement, and more generations of exploration. Thank you.
Cool.